pick up a certificate of marriage, which I had already prepared. And the certificate of marriage would simply say, on this 28th day of August, 1993 or 2 or whenever, I, Zig Ziglar, agreed to marry John and Mary Smith. By this marriage, I agree to be available in time of need. I agree to stay abreast of all the tax developments and Social Security changes as they relate to the needs of John and Mary Smith. I agree to assume responsibility for giving them the best advice my professional knowledge will permit. And I would simply say, the only thing that you agree to is this, to give Zig Ziglar the privilege of earning the right to serve. You put your okay here, we're in business. It was hilarious what generally happened. The old boy invariably would slap his leg and he'd say, honey, what about that? This dude wants to marry us. He wants to marry both of us. Mr. Ziglar, now this is legal. They're not going to get us for bigamy, are they? I'd go right along with it. I'd say, no, I've already cleared it with the insurance commissioner, the governor of the state. I've even talked about it with my brother-in-law. He says it's okay. And invariably, with a big laugh and a huge flourish, he would sign the marriage certificate. I had beautifully typed his name in. It was on Corinthian script. It was beautiful parchment paper. Interestingly enough, I never once had a marriage certificate signed that I did not get the application signed. Now, how can you take that and use it in your life? Well, Hockfield & Associates is a firm up in Chicago, in the Chicago area. And Wes Fenster, that Hockfield & Associates, is the gentleman who made this particular sale. He called on these people, and he was not getting any results at all. They sell private labels of various products to company, and here were the terms of agreement. When you buy a private label program from Hockfield & Associates and the Nice Pack Company, you also buy me. I am literally going to be married to the Shopko account. I will see that you receive the following: the finest products available for Shopko's valued customers, the best possible service, the fairest price, and he went right on down the list. And when we got to the bottom of it, he would simply say, and this is all you need to do to put this in force. First year, they sold over $500,000 worth of merchandise. They'd been calling on them for years. I've had any number of clients to say, this works. See, the marriage indicates that you're not going to hit and run, that you're going to be a permanent person with them. It ties it together. The marriage close has worked and works well. There's no such thing as a little sale. But it is safe to say that we will miss 100% of all of the sales we don't ask for. Very few prospects are going to demand that we take their order. That does happen occasionally, but it is very rarely. Chris Hegarty says that 63% of all sales interviews end without a direct ask for the order. At this point, I would like to share with you what I believe is a very significant close. It's called the pressure belief close. At this point, what I want to simply say to you is that we've had some ideas, some procedures, and some stimulation. But when I talk about a pressure belief close, it happened in Australia. I was with my friend John Nevin. He was with World Book Encyclopedia. He told me of what happened to him when his career first got started as a World Book salesperson, and he went on to become the managing director. Called on a little German couple. They really were more like grandparents. They'd been in Australia a very brief time. Their English was not real good. The little lady was 51 years old. She had given birth to their one and only child when she was nearly 45 years old. A very little short lady. Had language difficulty. He called on them at roughly 9 o'clock in the evening. It was way past midnight when he left with the order. As he started to leave, she put her hand up on his shoulder. She had walked him through the front yard because they had a vicious dog, got him outside the gate. She reached up and put her hand on his shoulder. And I can't emulate that guttural German accent, but in essence it went like this: thank you. Thank you, young man, for stay with us till we know what these books do for our boy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pressure belief is simply this. It's when you believe so fervently and so completely that that prospect is going to benefit the most by buying from you, that you are willing to kind of put your ego on the line. You're willing to take a slight risk, even on occasion of offending someone, by asking for the order of gain. Now, let me stress something. You got to do it pleasantly. You got to do it politely. You got to do it professionally. You must, by all means, do it with that person's interest at heart. But if you really believe they're the winner, you will become so professional in what you do. You will learn so many closes that you will be able, basically, to go forward with the conviction that you are rendering them a service. Now, only experience, judgment, and common sense will dictate to you what is the proper time and what is the proper amount. You'll never get experience by listening to a trainer or watching one of the videos, which I do. You will get ideas. You will get techniques. You will get procedures. Now, if you really want to build a sales career and substantially improve your sales, it's time to go to work. I encourage you not only to read, but to study Secrets of Closing the Sale and my other book, Ziglar on Selling. Now, the reason I say that is this. You can learn a lot of closes and procedures and techniques, but unless you understand the philosophy and the psychology behind them, you will only be partially as effective. You will need to read the exact words many times. There are literally over 140 closes and over 800 questions in these two books that will help you to lead people to those decision tables. And then in order to get the voice inflections down, we have made audio cassettes of each of these videos, and while you're in your car, you need to be listening to them over and over and over. The SMEI International, Sales and Marketing Executives International, says the average professional salesperson spends 510 hours a year in the automobile. That means you literally can make it your sales university. You can learn procedures and techniques. You will really be able to make it a part of you so you can automatically and instinctively respond. You also are going to need to work very much with your manager, your associate, or your trainer. If you're one of these people who happens only to be working independently by yourself, I encourage you to get in front of the video, look it over, take those notes, and then start compiling your own ideas to go along with the specifics that we are presenting here. The reason I want you doing all of these things, when you see something, you'll remember it. When you hear it, you forget it. But if you see it and hear it and do it, you'll understand it. That means you will close more sales. So if you do that, I can close as I always close by saying, you do these things and I'll see you. And yes, I really do mean you at the top. Thank you, and God bless you.